What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Episode 30, PalmWavePodcast. We fucking made it. 30 damn episodes. Here's the only thing. Daniel's gone. I killed him. He's in the closet, like 4 pieces. I don't know what to tell you. However, I got some good news. I got a really cool guest for us. Today, I have the one and only Daniel J. Clark.
Hey, we back from the dead, alive, risen again like Jesus on the 6th day, 7th day, whatever. Well, you know what I'm talking about. You get it. I'm back. We're here. So yeah, this is gonna be a little bit different of a episode. Just gonna be me and Derek by ourselves, no guests. A little more intimate, if you will. We're gonna get to know us a little better. Just talk about some bullshit, whatever's going on.
What's new?
Shit, man. Life, bro. Life is what's new. We'll start off. What I do for work other than podcast. I'm a manager for an AT&T store. I recently actually got transferred to a new location, so that's cool. That's fun. That's probably the most interesting thing that's happened in my life in the past few weeks.
All right.
What about you, Derek? What's new with you?
Oh, shit. Fucking big-ass schedule change.
Yeah, see that you're getting off at 10 every fucking day now.
Making it hard for us to do this. Yeah, but, we're doing it. It's not that hard. Lucky to still have the opportunity. But, yeah, I got a weird job doing identity verification. It's kind of, low-key. So I don't want to talk too much about that.
Yeah, no, you can't. That's government shit. You can't talk about it.
Something like that.
But, yeah, man. Glad you like your job. I like my job. Shit's going up, way up. But yeah, what do we,
You said the fucking Drake album sucked.
I didn't say it sucked. I said it was meh.
Which means?
I'm going to give him a pass on this one. I said this earlier before we got on the mic. His midterm projects that I'm going to say are not, usually the hitters like that.
You mean the albums aside from like the main albums?
Exactly. So I'm not going to say this is no top 5 or nothing like that. I'd put this like definitely top 8, maybe. But yeah, there's like maybe
it is what
3,
it is. Like Drake's not one of those.
On there.
Drake's not one of those artists that you can be critical about. Like the dude's just got products on the shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't put that much thought into fucking mini wheats. You don't. It's just always on the shelf, and if you need it, you got it.
Mini wheats? You're gonna compare Drake to mini wheats?
Yeah, I'm gonna compare some of his, his regular scheduled releases where he's just, making sure something's on the market that's just like off the shelf. It's like, oh, I want this sound. Okay, there it is. Drake's always got something there for you, and that's not bad. It's just something that we can't get twisted and be like, oh, is he really like an artist, blah blah blah. It's like, calm down.
How I'm gonna
different lanes.
How I'm gonna categorize this album is this is a collab album. So I'm not gonna say he's done a few collab albums, so I'm not even gonna say any of those are even in the top 5. But it's just not his usual project. So I'm gonna give him a pass on this one.
You're saying because he was working with 21, it was difficult for him?
I'm not saying it was difficult. It just wasn't, him fully inspired by himself. But yeah, no, I have some. I think I told you about my theory. I think I talked about it on the podcast.
Theory about what?
My theory on Drake and how he's been so successful and, great.
How?
I don't know where I heard this from, but either he owns the rights to Michael Jackson's music, like his whole catalog. It's either he owns it or he owns a piece of it or something. He has some kind of access to Michael Jackson's.
But that would make
catalog.
Him more successful. Okay. You're saying that he's using that for material or inspiration because no one else has heard it, and it's the GOAT.
Exactly. Right? So I think he's hearing some stuff, biting it, switting it up, giving it his own little 2020 spiral.
Dude, that'd be so crazy.
It would.
When did he buy the rights to that?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say I know, but I don't know where I heard this from, but it's a deep conspiracy. That's probably not even something you can find on Google. But we'll see. We'll see if we can find it. But it's crazy. Imagine that makes sense. Like imagine like he's been on top for how long? Almost 10 years, 12 years. No, they never made a song. He did also have like on one of his more recent albums, he had a Michael Jackson feature on the album. I forgot what song it was, but He's been on the top for a long time, and it's all just radio shit. Like it's all like shit that is very digestible. He knows the sauce. He knows the secret sauce. Like when is Drake gonna be the P Diddy of the music industry? Like falling into the background.
Well, I mean, that doesn't have to be a thing where we fall into the background because Drake has, more talent to do those things than P. Diddy has by far. So that's why P. Diddy's in the background because he sucks. And he's annoying, frankly, as everyone says and makes fun of.
Tell me how you really feel, bro.
Well, being in the song and, that's the joke. That's what fucking Suge Knight said at the MTV Awards in '97. If you're tired of your producer being in all the songs and all the videos, then come over to Death Row Records or whatever.
The Bad Boys.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't know. He was a producer and he was very involved with Biggie.
Mm-hmm. But Drake has far more talent, so he can be in the forefront. It's annoying for different reasons, but yeah, he's in the forefront because he has the talent. I can't see anywhere that he has, but if he has secret Michael Jackson tapes, that'd be crazy.
It would be. But nah, sticking to the music industry, Kanye West. Kanye West.
Mr. Ye.
Mr. Ye. Losing all of not all of them, but he's lost a lot of money and a lot of
He's definitely lost all of his partnerships.
A lot of his partnerships.
Yeah, for sure. They all dropped him. All of them.
All of them. And did you see that he was on the Skechers front door trying to pitch to them to sign him Skechers? Skechers, bro.
Wow.
Skechers.
Well, he was doing that. Everything he does is for fucking because he's trying to accomplish some sort of goal through the publicity. Kanye that's what he does, right? So whether or not he was actually trying to get business with them doesn't matter. I think he's just trying to give another opportunity for another company to flat out tell him no. And so he can be like, oh, well, what's the problem? Because that's what he's doing, right? He's saying this flagrant stuff and be like, oh, what's the problem?
I wouldn't say he's saying what's the problem. Oh, yeah. He doesn't think there's an issue. Yeah, you're right.
Because he's trying to suggest equality of what he said to what has been done and is being said everywhere else. Whereas it's all the same stuff. It's like we're all saying the same stuff. What happened?
Well, it's coming from Kanye West.
Exactly. That's kind of what he's doing, I think.
But and I said this before. He I'm not saying I agree with everything what he's saying, but
not at all.
But he needs to be more mindful, less tone deaf, and more aware of his platform and what this shit can do to your pockets. Because fuck everything else, man. He's fucking up the money. When you fuck up your money, that's very detrimental.
Well, maybe he doesn't care about it anymore because he has so much.
He's not a billionaire anymore. He dropped out of billionaire status.
Well, I mean, what does that really mean? It was just all a bunch of estimated numbers to begin with. Because all these partnerships disappear, suddenly that number, it never really mattered in the first place. None of those numbers are actually fucking real.
Yes, it is. What do you mean? He was the face of Adidas. The face. Basically. And now he can't. Who are we gonna make? How's he gonna make? They're not gonna make his shoes anymore. That's cut off.
Simply having that partnership and because that thing exists, your net worth is evaluated, and that's just a fake number. It is. He had whatever amount he had in the bank. They all called him the next day, said, "Hey, it's over," and then their estimated net worth of him dropped. His bank account didn't change.
His bank account stayed the same, but I'm talking about moving forward. He's not going to have that income from those companies.
No, he won't. But he'll still have music because the music industry won't touch that button because they can't.
Kanye's music's not even that great, bro.
It doesn't matter. He's still making money off of it.
Lately.
He's still making money off of it. That money's not going to disappear for him. So at best, what? He's still going to have fucking rapper money? Oh, horrible position to be in. Yeah, we think about it like, oh, it's such a great loss, but he's been there and seen all of that. So to his perspective, maybe it's worth trying to push whatever he thinks God is telling him to push, right? Yeah, so he's saying, fuck it. I can do this. I have the money and power right now. Why am I going to wait for them to Cosby me I'm good.
Cosby me.
That's what he said. I'm pretty sure he compared his situation
To Bill Cosby.
Cosby's, right? Because he tried to buy a media company, and so this shit came out of the woodworks.
Kanye
You've
tried
heard
buying
that
a media company.
Bill Cosby.
Oh, I thought you were saying like. Well, I knew Cosby did, but I thought you were saying that the old boys tried doing the same thing.
This is basically the same thing. Industry shift. That's what Kanye wants to do, is shift these industries. So he's just saying, fuck it. I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Do you think if he said this shit like 15 years ago?
No, it wouldn't have mattered because he wasn't the blackest. I'm sorry, guys. He wasn't the richest artist in history.
Yes. True.
Actor, designer, all of the above. Because they like to put that he was the richest black guy, but let's be real. He's the richest of a lot of things besides just being black.
A black man, yes. But you remember when Katrina was around? He said some wild shit on TV then. He said George Bush doesn't care about black people. You remember that shit?
When Katrina hit Louisiana?
It was him and Michael Myers on like a newscast, and he just went completely rogue and said, George Bush does not care about black people.
Was it necessary to say that?
No. That
Did it have any effects?
No.
Didn't have any effects.
No.
No effect at all on anything.
I'm just
Why
saying,
do we still talk about it?
He's got a track record of just being completely just
Out of nowhere. Yeah, I remember fucking the awards,
The
everything.
awards,
Everything he
Taylor
does.
Swift,
Everything he
yeah.
does. When he first stepped into the recording studio for Jay-Z, he got up on the table and started rapping some lame ass shit and was like, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah.
So this is what
Ballsy
Kanye West
motherfucker.
does.
Ballsy
He
motherfucker.
just steps where he wants to go, demands what he wants, and it happens. This guy's crazy.
But my thing is, why is it now that they're trying to, strip him from all of his shit?
Because he said wild stuff.
He's always said wild stuff.
But it's the Jews, bro. That's the one that you can't do. That's the one that you can't talk shit about. Even more than LGBTQ, apparently.
Was it us that were talking about that anti-Semitic isn't even really Jewish?
Right, because if you're getting hyper technical about it,
Yeah.
Semitic means a larger range than just, Jews or Hebrews from the Middle East. It's a lot of different people from that region around the Arabian Sea, etc.
So that's just media.
But
That's
that's
a poor choice of words in the media for.
Yeah, it's all a weird word game. It's all a weird word game. The last time I mentioned the word cabal is something that's said in the news.
So why do you bring up this term? What were you?
Well, because in the news and in the media all the time, when they're talking about a shady group that's behind the scenes responsible for things, making things happen, for whatever side you're on, if you're Republican, if you're Democrat, either side, doesn't matter. This is being said in the news, cabal. And this dark cabal behind the scenes, making the things happen so that you lose your rights or some shit like that.
Dun dun dun, cabal. Bam.
So they all use this word. And where does that word come from?
Seems to be a made up, media word, hype buzzword. Secret political clique or faction.
Okay, so they spell it with a C. But the only other relevant word that has those sounds
Kabbalah.
is Kabbalah.
Kabbalah.
It's a Jewish set of esoteric teachings meant to explain the relationship between the unchanging eternal God and the mortal finite universe. And this was not written. It was just a verbal, passing on of knowledge. But it comes from the Jews. It comes from the Hebrews. So it's like we can call dark groups a word that is related to this, but we can't say anything bad about Jews directly. While at the same time, everyone's constantly using this word, which is just like a shady group of Jews. Almost that's what they're kind of saying.
Yeah.
I know it's spelled with a C, but like, where does that word come from? Come on. It's literally the same word minus AH.
Exactly. Like I said, it's a repurposed whatever word.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's kind of weird how there's a lot of Jewish stuff going on, like a lot of Jew hate and slander?
Is there?
From what I've seen, just on social media, I guess people.
I feel like that kicks up every time we get economic disparity, because the old Jews owning the banks idea keeps spinning around, and so that won't go away because it's a thing. We can't deny that.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
It's not all of them, but it's a great portion. And to what degree this portion or that portion exerts influence over the rest, I mean, well, there's a disparity in there too. Which groups have the most influence?
the whites.
So, I mean, that's why, I don't know, I don't think that I've noticed a lot of anti-Semitism recently.
I get you just don't watch enough like
Maybe I don't.
YouTube debates that I watch. Like,
You sure it
like,
wasn't just kicked up because of Kanye?
I'm sure it was.
I mean, he said this.
I'm sure it was.
It's
but
going on a month ago now.
I'm sure it was, but it's like a lot of people are talking about. I don't know, just it's uncomfortable. It really is. I don't know why people hate Jews so much. I want to talk so bad about them. Like, so what? They own a lot of stuff, whatever. But I don't. That's not for me to decide.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Fucking full moon tonight. People talk about some crazy stuff happens during these. Actually, it's an eclipse. Isn't the moon supposed to be like red or something like that? It's supposed to be like this crazy eclipse.
Really?
Yeah. And then here, let me tell you what it's supposed to mean. It's like Taurus is in this and that is in that and so on and so forth. All right. So it says Taurus, known for being the king/queens of self-love and self-care, money driven as fuck, creative as fuck, and known for being trustworthy. So the full as a part of the eclipse is really good for releasing old habits, old trauma, revealing your shadow and working through all your negative things that carry with you subconsciously. So I guess this eclipse is a refresh, like a renew cycle.
That's good.
So if you want to change some old habits, get some good habits, get rid of old habits, today's the day. Start today.
While we're on the subject of astronomical bodies,
Yeah.
how about Halloween, bro?
Halloween.
Last time we were talking, you thought Halloween was weird just because the whole, I don't know, I guess starting when we were kids. I don't even know when it started for us, but talking about the knives and the candy, the drugs and the candy. And
It's just the whole energy around, Halloween, the trickery, not, I don't want to say satanic, but just the dark energy around
I
it.
mean, there
and
are satanic shit that goes on that day, right?
Celebrating
There
just
are, right?
darkness. Yes,
There
bro.
is, there
Yes,
is.
dude. What the Wiccans do wild stuff on Halloween, man. Are you kidding me? That's the peak of creepy shit day. Like,
Do we really know what they're doing, though?
do they really know what they're doing?
Do we really know what they are doing?
I'm sure we have some kind of records of what they do, or ex-witches that have shared some stories of.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be pretty
Talk
cool.
to some Wiccans Halloween tradition. See what they actually do.
I'd have goosebumps the whole fucking time, bro.
I'd ask them about the baby sacrificing. Is it true? I heard at church that they sacrifice babies on Halloween.
You hear that? You hear that in like the elites, like they go sacrifice babies because it's like
yeah,
that
sure.
fucking weird.
Oh, they said that about the
Adrenaline.
Phoenicians too. Or I'm not sure. I believe the Phoenicians, yeah, or the Carthaginians or something like that.
And it's like, that's some dark shit, bro. That is some.
Yeah, they go whole graveyards of just babies in fucking whatever that nation or civilization was back then. They've done research back and forth. Oh man, was it baby sacrifice or was it just some universal grave for the babies that didn't make it to birth?
No, too many babies.
Nah, man. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that it was an honoring and mourning of babies that didn't make it to birth, and they got stories about it too.
Was all the babies like at full term looking babies, or were they all deformed? Like one arm was smaller, one leg.
Dude, it
or
was
little
whatever
super
kind of
fat
baby.
heads and-
It was whatever kind of baby that just it's fucked up and doesn't make it to being alive, and they
But yeah,
they fucking burned it and put them in vases with faces or something. It was some crazy thing. I believe it's the Phoenicians.
see that whole sacrifice. Like, I don't understand how you.
It wasn't sacrifice. It's babies that are gonna die.
I'm gonna say it's sacrifice, bro. I don't care how you want to paint that, but any type of mass grave for children, if you find baby limbs in a mass grave, I'm gonna think it's some kind of weird sacrifice shit. Like, you just don't. I don't know.
Yep. That's what this is. That they really did sacrifice their children. Of course, that's just clickbait. Did the Phoenicians practice? Yeah, I'm not wrong. It was the Phoenicians and Carthaginians.
Phoenician.
Infant burials, cemetery of sacrifice. We want to call it sacrifice now because, I mean, we know about the Phoenicians. Of course, this is going to be an evil group because this is the group that brings knowledge, and knowledge is evil. Therefore, this is a bad group. So they're going to twist whatever they can to make these predecessors, the people that come before, because history is written by the winners, and so they rewrote like, oh no, they were sacrificing babies. Fuck them. Don't look at the shit that they built, even though it was better than what we can build. They were evil.
Well, you got to think about it. They wasn't evil to them. They were doing what's just, right in their society and culture. Just like, okay, this might be a little extreme, but with like Middle Eastern, if you go and steal something over there, what are they going to do? Cut your fucking hand off. You go over there and you do some other wild shit, they're going to, cut your fucking head off. So it's like, that's normal to them over there to like, see that shit getting videotaped. Like that's just execution. That's what happens when you fuck up over there. And over here they tell us like, oh, this is this bad shit. They shouldn't be doing this. So it's just a weird, how they try to face things and that weird they.
That's what they do. That's what we do. We pick out the differences between us and try and use them as leverage to increase our position.
Yeah, basically.
That's what we do.
Well, what's your take on Halloween? We deviated a long way from this Halloween.
Oh yeah, so Halloween, right? Yeah, because Halloween, astronomical bodies, right?
No, I was just saying how like it's just a dark holiday.
That's what brought me to it. The moon.
Fucking celebrate darkness.
Right. That's what brought me to it, though. Was the moon. So on Halloween, the common trope is the witches flying in the sky with their broomsticks, right? Mm-hmm. And an interesting description of a comet is a broomstick, a broom comet.
Speaking of comets, I did see a shooting star.
Right. Right. We'll get to that. 1 second. But yeah, a comet, if you look at it, it's kind of got a head and a long sweeping tail. Mm-hmm. So if you just imagine you stick a pole right here and it's a broom. You just sweep with it.
Yeah, very broomstick-like. Yeah, I can see it.
Witches flying around the sky are not nice or benign. They go around causing mischief and destruction and making people do weird things, right?
Yes.
That's why we enact that almost. We go around doing funny things, taking different roles and acting crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're bewitched. And maybe that's
possessed.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. So they would think like, oh, a witch is going around causing destruction. That's the metaphor here. Because when a comet goes across the sky, sometimes weird shit happens. Sometimes shit falls down and crashes, death, destruction, right? So that's the idea. It's like, why are all these cultures celebrating death around the world at the same time?
Why?
Yeah.
Because maybe it happens the same time worldwide. To say they see the same. I don't know, bro. Tell us.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's like, what death? Most people would think like it's because the season is changing, fall is coming, winter, and the natural world is dying, right? Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people, I think, would guess.
Yeah.
But below the equator, on the other side of the world, when it's summertime or springtime, they're just coming into spring. Why would they have a death holiday at the beginning of spring? So it's not because of the seasons.
I don't know, man.
It's not because of the seasons. It's because somehow, at the same time, these different cultures experienced some great death.
Okay.
There's a star cluster that's associated with a lot of these Halloween traditions across cultures, and it's the Pleiades. It's the Pleiades star cluster. Pleiades is the thing that makes up the Subaru logo. It's just 7 sister stars. Mm-hmm. And Pleiades makes up the shoulder of the bull of the constellation Taurus, since we were talking about the Taurus moon, right? Well, they all have that association with Pleiades because there are a meteor stream called the Taurid meteor stream. And if you're looking at it in the sky, it looks like it's coming out of the shoulder of the bull.
Yes.
Just because of the perspective. When you're looking at it, it's like a bunch of shit flying by in the sky. It's right next to the shoulder of the bull.
Yeah.
They all have this reference to the meteor stream, the 7 stars around the same time of the year, and it's great death.
Okay.
So the idea is that at some point a comet or a meteor might have hit and killed people all over the world at the same time, and we all remember it through these traditions. And it's all cultures, all cultures. I showed you last time. All Saints Day, All Halos Day, which is where Halloween comes from, and then the Peruvians, the Persians, the Indians, the Australian Aborigines, both sides of the equator. It's not the seasons.
Why did I think that this was just like a Day of the Dead holiday, like a Mexican
Just
holiday?
Mexican?
Yeah,
Because we don't know. They don't tell us this shit.
that's crazy, bro. Damn.
And you literally saw last time you told me you saw a meteor fly across the sky. You saw a shooting star.
I did. I saw one.
And that's while we were still going through the torrid meteor stream. Anyways, this right here, I pulled this up because in ancient Rome there was a religion called Mithraism. They worship the goddess Mithra, and Mithra is famous for killing the bull by stabbing it in the shoulder, because that's the bad part. That's the thing that you need to kill to stop the destruction from coming. There's some other crazy symbolism
right in the
there, but
collarbone.
like, yeah. And you saw that comment.
Made a wish too, baby. No, I hadn't seen a shooting star since I was like maybe like 8, 9 years old. So I'm on track every fucking 16 years. I'll see one.
So that's kind of the idea. It's like the meteors go in and out of the solar system like this in a stream, and twice a year our little Earth passes through that part, and that part where we might be hit. When we're going through this part, the meteors look like it's coming from the sun, so we can't see it. But when we're going through this part, it looks like Taurus is where it's coming from. Basically, that's all. But that's why we celebrate Halloween and death. And death, baby.
Death. Speaking of death, we may not get lucky enough to, have one of these blow right by us. Fuck. Anyways, yeah, we might not be lucky enough. We go through this fucking meteor shower and one actually hit us, dude. Do you think we have any protection, man? Do you think we're protected from some meteor showers? I mean, I see we've been testing some.
Well, it's crazy.
Some meteor deflection.
It depends
science
on how many levels you conspiracize or whatever. It's like, do you think the government has secret technology? Okay. Do you think that there's ancient aliens or whatever? Okay. So on either level, it's like, well, the ancient aliens are clearly invested in this planet, so they wouldn't allow meteors to strike us. They'd use their UFOs to do their thing, right?
Yeah.
And if our government has secret technology and shit that the aliens have given us, i.e. some UFOs, well, then they wouldn't let it either. They wouldn't let it hit.
Yes, but there's also this...
You said the other day that you saw NASA stated they successfully landed on the asteroid and moved it.
Yes.
You said that they pushed a fucking asteroid.
Pushed it or something like that, yeah.
And that news came out in late October. And I said that was not a coincidence.
No.
Because
like you said,
this is the time in history when we were hit by comets. So they just decided to say, hey, by the way, we can move those.
But they're also saying that they're trying to mine these things. If we have this technology to mine, asteroids for a long time, why haven't we been doing it already? Like,
because it's when the masses is when that technology is able to be replicated into the masses. And that's a difficult process. And if you're an ancient alien believer, that's what we're all doing here for civilization.
Is just what?
Getting to the point where we can recreate everything that they have or had.
I mean, we already have the blueprints. I'm sure there's some kind of archive of ancient technology where that's what fucking Area 51 is, man. That's what they're doing over there. They're testing all that shit.
That's what we were talking about with John Jacobs. It's like these technologies come out like when they're supposed to, because if you release them too fast, we go fucking nuts and kill ourselves.
That is yes. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So,
I mean, I'm excited for the future, man. Like we're alive in a really cool time to see.
I don't understand how a lot of people can be pessimistic.
We
have to not really be paying attention to what is happening. You're paying attention to more what people are saying. If you really look at what's happening, if you look at all the metrics and indicators and stats, like the world is getting better.
I would say so, yes.
It's not always a straight line. Hence, we have a pretty nasty war right now on the planet. But
besides the war, people always want to bring up, how dirty the ocean is and all the plastics in the ocean, and that's what's killing the planet. Like, that's irreversible stuff. So, like, what would the future be like? What is the future like if the ocean does die? Like, if that is unreversible, like, what could we possibly even do to even combat that? Like, I really can't even Think of anything.
Is the ocean dying?
I mean, look at the what is it? The coral, the reef over there in Australia. What's it called?
Those coral reefs are doing bad, yeah.
So what? Obviously,
But
we have
it's
some
not.
kind of effect on that.
But that could just be propaganda because climate is not always so consistent, and what has allowed the Great Barrier Reef is a slim margin of circumstances that are coincidentally good to create this reef. So what if a couple of them have changed? Well, somewhere else maybe conditions will be conducive to a reef. And maybe we won't have the biggest reef ever right there. Does that mean that the Great Barrier Reef was supposed to always be there? How do we know that?
No,
How do we know that? Or is it our selfish human need to look at pretty things and
all the time
and think that life is so splendorous? I don't know.
And I'm sure there's places on the planet that they are beautiful, untouched, healthy reefs. That it's not.
There's other reefs.
They make it seem so bad. They really do. They really do. But that ocean stuff really does scare me. Like, because that is really the source of life of the earth is the ocean. So if that goes, we go, man. That's really the facts of it.
It's a complicated idea because you have to think if the Earth's climate is stable, and it's really not. Like if you acknowledge that a comet hit the planet 11,680 years ago that caused all the glaciers to spill out immediately, i.e. the Great Flood, well, tell me when does stability reached after that? How long does it take for the planet to stabilize climate-wise after a massive flood on the planet?
Thousands and thousands of
Does
years.
it take 5,000 years to stabilize? The Egyptians inherited a stable climate on the Earth? Or does it take 8,000 years?
I'm sure it was more stable then than it is now.
There was another little ice age in the before the Renaissance, in the Middle Ages. There was a little ice age at that point. Coincidentally, that's when we compare our glacial maximums to our glacial minimums. When they say, oh, the glaciers are farther back than they've ever been, blah, blah, blah.
It was in the Middle Ages.
They're comparing it to the Middle Ages and not the Ice Age. Why are they comparing it to the Middle Ages? A point in time where the ice was abnormally far forward and was actually detrimental to our agriculture. We didn't get to do shit really until after that ended. So clearly, the ice being that far forward, it might not be a good thing. What are we really looking at here?
Yeah, and then there's also that one, other concept of, we're the ice is melting and it's going back to where it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like we're seeing, what was supposed to be there. Like this ice wasn't supposed to be, like you said, up this far.
Less ice, more life.
And people are tripping about that. Like they have these before and afters of like a glacier back in like 95 and then a glacier now, and it's like
how long does it?
Oh my god, look how much it's melted.
How long does it take the Earth to reach equilibrium after a flood like that? Killed all the ice, flooded the whole planet, water just spinning around. We don't know how long that takes.
No, we don't. Probably won't see it in our lifetime or our kids' lifetime, but
maybe this getting warmer is just reaching back to equilibrium, because the dinosaurs lived in a hotter planet, and arguably life was much larger. So it was hotter.
yeah.
And not just that,
higher oxygen
not
levels.
just that, it had more carbon, parts per million in the atmosphere, by multiples of what we have. Did everything die and stop? Did the ocean acidify and eat all the coral? No. It was a life-full planet that we are finding up all the fossils and stuff and giving our supposed dates for.
Supposed dates. Yeah, I heard
But there
carbon
was-
dating's all bullshit, man.
But there was far more carbon per parts per million. There was more carbon in the atmosphere, and it was hotter. So it's like, what are we really trying to stop? Is nothing. There's nothing we're really trying to stop. It's just all.
At that point,
It's all a game, baby.
Right now, it's all about. Okay, so
I think the real problem is pollution. You gotta have clean air and clean water.
there you go. That's what I was gonna say. Like, if are we even having an effect that much on the ice caps? Like, if the ice caps melt in whatever 30 years and water is at our doors, there's got to be some kind of combat to that. Like, I'm sure we'll be pumping something, like, or if there is even going to be even that much of an effect in 30 years. I don't know. But I am positive there's going to be some kind of, water level rise in the next, 100 years.
Yeah, the water's gonna rise for sure. But that's a problem for our convenience. Just people don't want to move.
Yeah.
People don't want to move.
People want that waterfront property
So
by the bay.
and that's always been a problem. What can you do?
Honestly,
Even real rivers, like they constantly squiggle,
rewind themselves,
themselves, retwist, make new bends over decades. But wherever we live, we lock the river into place.
Yeah. Well,
The Mississippi River is very controlled. There's a crazy level of locks and shits when you get down to like Mississippi and Louisiana. Yeah.
I have to say we've learned how to channel that river so well as we've been working that river for hundreds of years. So I mean, that makes sense.
It's such a delicate thing. If you don't know the history of that, then you can be fucked up just like a flood from global warming, supposedly. Like there's a village not too long ago, I think it was in the last few years, in Germany that got flooded. When you zoom out and you look at like drone pictures, you can see the topography, the landscape. That's like, okay, that is clearly the
valley.
old riverbank, right? Or an old flood bank.
Yeah.
You don't know how often that happens. Might be once every 10 years, might be once every 50 years, once every 100 years. But at some point,
Water
that's going to
flows through
flood
them,
right there because the land says so.
Was there houses in that little
That's exactly where that village was built. And the whole thing got whooshed because that flood finally came.
But no, that's my thing. People think I'm weird. I live in Florida. I grew up in Florida my whole life. There's beaches all around me. Could get to one in 30 minutes. But I would never live on a beach house. Like, I would rather live on a lake, have a double dock, have some jet skis, a fucking boat.
Well, these people don't live in their beach houses all year round.
People do, man. People down there and like bro, you'd be surprised. Like, you see these old wrinkly motherfuckers just be living down in there. Like, that's where they choose to live, man.
Yeah.
And then, like, just even at Davis Island, you think they're just not living there at those houses all the time? They put all those money in those houses, just not there.
Yeah, but those aren't really beach houses.
Davis Island isn't a beach house. Those aren't beach houses.
I mean, they're waterfront property, but
Same thing.
they're built higher up than
It's right
just
on
the beach.
the seawall.
Yeah, for sure. It's right there. But it is a little bit different.
A little bit. Whatever.
Yeah, Tampa's slightly more elevated than Miami. For global warming's sake, the water level rising sake, we're losing, some of South Tampa and maybe Davis Island and Bayshore. But the majority of that land is still good because we're not right on sea level. We got a little bit more altitude than, say, Miami.
Maybe we'll do like New Orleans, get those massive pumps, underwater pumps, and just be pumping the fuck out of that water, desalinizing it or whatever. We're using that shit. That'd be a good business, man. In the future, like a desalination company, bro, that could be something to invest in, guys. You heard it here first. If I'm making millions.
Maybe that's why Tampa's getting so much heat, is because Miami is gonna be flooding a little bit more every single year. So it's like, shoot, the amount of money that we should be spending here is gonna have to drop.
Yeah, Miami, man, I ain't even been there yet. I feel like Miami's a little overhyped.
You even been there? We got to get there before it floods.
And then even when people tell me about Miami, they never really guess it like that. They just say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Have you been to Miami?
I've never really gone in Miami like that.
No. Yeah.
Not for nightlife or nothing like that.
Not like
leisure entertainment. No.
West went to Miami. He said he flew into Miami after he came back from his sister's wedding. He was there for like a day or whatever. And he said it was good, but I can't really trust Wesley on his traveling opinions.
I don't know what you're saying.
Compares everything to fucking Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't even live there. Y'all need to stop gassing up Denver, bro. It ain't that cool. All right. I'm tired of everybody gassing Denver. I was there. We were there. Maybe I should stay there longer. Who knows? We were only there for a day. But I didn't think it was that cool.
It's a city in the middle of a cold desert.
I didn't think it was that cool. A lot of cool houses. Houses look cool. Very beautiful, beautiful state. But that ain't enough for me. Sorry.
And those houses, those beautiful, beautiful houses are not in Denver. Denver is just a city in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, man. All those...
A cold desert, basically. You go. You got to go
tundra.
to to the mountainsides, and you see all these people posting their pictures and stuff. Nobody's posted a picture in the middle of fucking Denver. Like, we're
Denver.
here.
Where we live. They're always in like fucking, what is it, Breckenridge and fucking everywhere else.
Right.
Fuck. Denver is overrated.
The city is naturally, or that state is naturally beautiful. It is not beautiful for what we've made.
Exactly.
In there. There's nothing there as far as what people have made.
If you
Just
like
free weed, guys.
If you like being a vagabond, and just thinking it's cool to smoke legally in a state like you don't already smoke it legally wherever the fuck you live, go ahead, by all means. You want to freeze your dick off all year, by all means. Some people like that, man. Some people like the cold. I don't get it. I really don't. I can do it for 4 days maybe, and that's it, man. That's it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. I'm a Florida boy.
I get cold at work sitting in the office.
For real, man. 72, I get cold, man. Goosebumps and everything.
See any good movies?
Lately, no. But actually, I'm not gonna say it's a good movie, but it did have my heart racing, and it was actually pretty scary. It was the newest Texas Chainsaw.
Uh-huh.
Very gory. I've stayed away from those gory, scary movies, but
yeah, me too.
You know, it was spooky season. I said, why the fuck not?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, no, that thing, I don't know how he took so many bullets. Like, I thought he was dead like 2 or 3 different times, and then, you know, he was back. I think he may have some kind of superpower, wearing like a fucking bulletproof vest under his massive fucking butcher apron. But no, that nigga crazy. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but whatever, fuck it. I saw the motherfucker go into a van, like an old school like 70s van, and people were just partying in the back, and he just goes in there and just fucking shreds everybody with the fucking chainsaw. Walks on the bus, there's this guy right in the front. He pulls out his phone, he starts going live on Instagram, like showing the guy just hella ignorant. People liking it, commenting, laughing. And then the guy, the chainsaw, what's his name?
I don't know, man.
Anyways, puts the chainsaw right into the guy's gut while he's live on Instagram. Like, this shit was crazy.
Oh my God.
Shit was fucking crazy. That shit had my heart rate pumping, bro.
Have you put any more thought into my proposition that there's only one young, handsome black lead actor, Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. fucking Jordan. You are correct. That is the only one these motherfuckers is picking out here is Michael B. Jordan, bro.
I don't know, guys. If you know somebody, comment down below if you know somebody besides Michael B. Jordan. But that is the go-to young, handsome black actor.
Let's take a second and think here and try to think of a young black actor. Don't Google nothing. Let's think for a second. Put a timer up. Put like a 10-second timer up.
Young and handsome. Like there's Jordan Peele's main actor. I forget his name.
Daniel something. I know his name because his name's Daniel. My name's Daniel. We're Daniel Bros.
But I wouldn't label him as exactly the most like he's not as handsome by any means as Michael B. Jordan.
No, he's ugly. He's an ugly nigga. Sorry. No homo, but he's so. But not Michael B. Jordan.
Chadwick Boseman died.
R.I.P. Chad.
That is like it. Like you can think of the OGs, and there's a few of them, right? Like there's fucking Denzel Washington,
Will Smith.
There's Will Smith. Older than them, there's Carl Weathers. There's
damn, dude, that's
a
tough.
little bit resume, but right now,
that's the tough one, dude.
Yeah, man,
that is tough.
This get even worse. How about a Hispanic actor,
lead actor?
Whatever actor.
No. I'm sure there's some white boy that looks white and is Hispanic. I'm sure there is one out there. If you look up lead Hispanic actors,
like Pedro Pascal, the guy who played the Mandalorian, I believe he's Mexican by heritage.
Yeah, he looks. But like, he looks Mexican.
That's not who I'm asking for. You know what I'm saying?
You want someone like what? Right. Island Spanish?
I don't know. He's brown skin. You know what I mean?
Not Spaniard Spanish.
Bad Bunny. Like if it wasn't for Bad Bunny,
what about it?
Who else would I see that looks like me? If it wasn't for Bad Bunny.
Daddy Yankee. Yeah.
No, he fits a stereotype. Bad Bunny breaks all labels. He's whatever his own person, individual. Doesn't meet any stereotypes. That's
And
why he's so
well-
powerful. That's why I'm talking about him.
And well,
Who's that?
and well, and well, is that his name?
Dude, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Bro, you're Hispanic. How you not know fucking Hispanic
I don't listen to that kind of
pop
music.
stars, bro?
I don't know that kind of music, so I'm a layman. But Bad Bunny's big enough that I know him, and I respect him because he looks like me.
He doesn't look like you,
I mean, he has brown skin, curly hair. It's close enough.
bro. He got a fucking bro. Stop.
Who else do I identify with, Daniel? Who else do I identify with? That one guy from fucking End of Watch? Who the fuck are these people?
Jennifer Lopez.
It's
Come on,
this
bro.
guy. It's this guy.
Meech
This
Martin.
guy right here. He represents 1/5 of the Earth's population
Isn't the guy?
with his American Hollywood presence, Michael Pena. He's kind of funny. He's a good actor. But they haven't posted him like a lead. You never see a Hispanic dude as a fucking lead anywhere.
Yeah, y'all got it worse than black. Sorry. At least we got Michael B. Jordan. Sorry.
At least y'all got Michael B. Jordan.
We got Michael B. Jordan and old ass Will Smith. All right. And man, that really is. I can't think of. Still thinking about it, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say this? Isn't the main actor from Moon Knight Hispanic?
If he is, I want him to like lean into it. Like you fucking put a black person as a lead role in a movie, and they sprinkle that shit on us. Like like you gotta get that respect. They put a Hispanic looking dude, and it's just because he was good for the role. They're not leaning onto his identity or promoting his identity at all.
Miles Morales, bro.
Miles Morales. That's my only hope. Is that the next Spider-Man movie they're just gonna have fucking Miles Morales.
They should do it. They need a black Spider-Man. And they make Idris Elba.
But even then, it's just like let's get two birds with one stone, right? Instead of giving the whole respect to one thing. Miles Morales, he's half black and Hispanic. There we go. Check.
I'm trying to make everybody happy there.
Exactly.
But no, they got to make Idris Elba Black Superman. That's going to change the world.
That will change the world. There's another fucking, there's at that level, at that age, like there's so many of them. Idris Elba, Denzel Washington, Will Smith,
There's
all these handsome black lead actors.
there's actually a pretty good, well, it looks good, Will Smith Slave movie coming out. I saw the trailer. It looked pretty good.
Will Smith is going to play a slave in a movie?
It's called like Emancipation or something like that. One of those 1960 words or 1600s words. Emancipation, yeah. Look at Will. Look at Will with his little nappy head, bro. Little nappy head slave with the chain around his neck. But nah, I haven't watched this, but I saw that suggested in the YouTube trailers. I thought Will was done. But he keeps coming back, man. Will keeps coming back. I'll give it
I
to
heard
him.
it myself. Slaves are free. Sasu. Lincoln.
Oh, he African. They didn't even give him like an American accent.
We must get to Lincoln's army.
Fresh off
5
the boat.
days. Through this swamp.
There are many ways to die in a swamp.
There are many ways to die here.
I will not be afraid. What can a mere man do to me?
Follow the sound of Lincoln's cannons.
My family.
I hate that
Is
these
we
movies
flee
have the strobe Lincoln's cock so
forever.
much. How many times has he said Lincoln already?
I mean, he had slaves. People get that.
I will look in triumph at my enemies.
He looked like Black Lincoln.
Looked,
Bro, that said nothing. I don't know what that I don't understand. Like that said nothing, bro.
yeah. That was, I guess it's going to be during the war.
Very lackluster, man.
They're probably just going to fight. I don't even know. But, I mean,
He's just running. Is he gonna be running the whole movie? I don't want to watch that if he's just gonna be running for
I
his
know. I
fucking
looked, there was
life.
like military participation.
Him.
Like them or whoever leaves or rebels, there's probably going to be some sort of conspiracy.
Maybe
help the
that wasn't
North.
just some B-roll.
Who knows?
Him
But I
hiding.
mean, it looked interesting. At least it'll have an interesting lighting. It was all gray.
If it's really like that, the whole movie, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. I don't like black and white shit like that in 2022. I get the
It's a little
taste, I get
interesting,
it,
huh?
but it's
It's kind of like how they made, or they show all the pictures in black and white of MLK and Malcolm X, like they didn't have color. Like it was so
Exactly.
far away, it was even more distant than what it is to now. So like they're kind of doing that, like, oh, it was in sepia, like
You got it.
it's far away, it's old, it's antiquated.
you got it.
Yeah.
But no, have you seen all these like new theories of figures of the past actually being black because they like recolor the photos and they look like black
Oh
people?
yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, for one. People are claiming that Abraham Lincoln's like a quarter black. Who else? Babe Ruth. That's huge right now. Huge right now. There was this picture, like old picture of Babe Ruth when he was like maybe 70, 80 years old, sitting on the bench with some Yankees players. You could probably look it up. And he looks like my fucking grandpa, dude. My grandpa's black. He looks like a beardless version of my granddad.
That colorizing of photos, though, that's all subjective.
What you mean?
Like
I know what subjective means.
the
but
colorizing, like, is their personal choice. Like, I mean, the picture is what it is. It is the tone that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Babe Ruth. Let's look at Babe Ruth so we can see it. We know he has a wide nose,
mouth,
and
lips.
he hangs around in Harlem and allegedly had black girlfriends. Right?
Had
where
black girlfriends, chilled with the black folks.
He was
When
a man of the
not-
people.
When he was not chilling with the team, he was at black jazz clubs, my guy. Always had a black girlfriend.
And sometimes they would make jokes about him. Right?
Make jokes about, they would call the N-word. They would call him the N-word. Literally call him the N-word.
So you have this picture. What color you choose to make his skin is completely. I mean, you could put blackface on this guy with, an extra dark brown tint, and sure, we can call him black, but that's.
Okay,
I don't believe that colorizing old photos of people and saying, look, they could be black, but just because you put blackface on them.
besides the colorizing solidifying my claim, it's the claims of his teammates and what people were saying about him.
I mean, we know his parents. We know his parents. It's definitely, unless he was a child out of wedlock, and they are all lying about it, and that truth has never come because he's such a famous white icon. Besides that, like, it's very clear that this was a white man who just knew what was cool.
Yes, but we know the truth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, the greatest, man. The greatest. A lot of the greatest athletes are black.
There's a colorized picture of him, you see?
Man, that looks extra whitewashed.
They make him extra pink, right? He was probably a little bit more olive than that, but it's, it's subjective.
Oh, he looked extra white. He don't tell me he don't look like a black man.
But that's the sepia tone adds
But
a
besides-
level of color to the skin that makes you believe.
I'm not talking about the skin tone. Look at the facial features, bro. Look at his lips. Look at his nose. Look at his brow.
No, man, you're just going for stereotypes. There's a lot of variation amongst all populations for very different shapes and sizes of facial features.
Fuck the stereotype. I'm black. I know a black man when I see one.
No, man. I mean, both of his parents were white. Like I
Supposedly.
said, unless he had a child, he was out of wedlock. But, like, the guy's got light skin. And it doesn't take that lot. It doesn't take that much.
How you
because-
gonna hop on these other crazy conspiracies but not hop on this one with me, bro? Damn. Come on, man. Give us this one.
A child out of wedlock. He would have to be out of wedlock.
Give us this one.
But he looks like his dad.
He looks black.
That's not the right guy.
Hey, that's Babe Ruth right there.
That's Babe Ruth himself. His father. Boom. Looks like him. Looks like this guy
He must
had
be.
sex with a black person. Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
He owned a bar or something, right? Yeah, there he is owning his bar. Maybe just one night with one of the guests.
Bro,
Boom, Babe Ruth was made.
He looks maybe Aborigine. I see some Aborigine.
Yeah,
features.
here with your Aborigine.
I bet you he's hairy as fuck.
Yeah, and there he is, working at the bar.
America's pastime. Baseball.
Yes, sir. So how about that Jordan Peele movie? We were talking about it last time. The latest one, Nope. You haven't seen it, right?
I have not, but I know you did.
Yeah, I saw it. It was pretty cool. I liked it. It was better than his second movie, I think.
This Is Us.
Yeah, This Is Us was weird. And didn't have a whole lot of... it was too much on, like, the unexplained side. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Too much.
Not enough ends tied.
There was not enough to grab onto. It's just like, what the fuck is the point of that underground world with the clones? And then at the end, with their ring around the world, what the hell is going on?
So there's the...
That just made no sense.
I watched it one time,
So did
and
I.
it was a long time ago, and I don't remember much.
It just didn't make any sense.
And I watched Get Out one time.
That one made sense.
Made sense, and I retained most of it.
Yeah, there was enough for you to grab onto.
Yeah. So, I mean...
They didn't explain how the magic worked, but that's not necessary. You don't have to explain the magic. Just give me enough reasons for it to exist.
Magic.
Yeah, the magic. How do they switch bodies? Come on, man. What is the underworld? Yeah. We don't know, but you don't got to explain the magic.
It's not magic. It's psychological.
It's like in Star Wars before in the prequels, and they made it, they tried to rationalize the magic instead of just the Force being the Force, this universal
Entity,
spirit or whatever. Now it's, the number of cells in your body, the metachlorians, they determine your Force level. You don't explain the magic. You ruin it. You don't explain it. If you do it right, you don't have to explain it. It enhances everything.
They say science is just human translation of magic, right?
Sure, basically, but why not? But in This Is Us, it was just too much not explained. It was fucking, what am I watching?
Give me a quick synopsis on that movie, bro.
On This Is Us?
Yeah, because you seem to remember it better than I do.
This Is Us is a lady who is with her family, and she has like weird dreams or something because she's seeing what her clone is seeing in the underground or something. They don't explain what the underground is.
Why does she have a clone? Why is it
Everybody
her?
has a clone.
Everybody in the world, in the planet.
Everybody has a clone.
Okay.
Their whole family clone showed up.
Okay.
And was basically the clones underground escaped and were killing everybody. That was the purpose of the movie. It was just like a massacre movie.
What was the motivation of the killing? What was it?
Because they were trapped inside while their counterparts lived beautiful lives.
But I do remember at the end, they make you question if the girl that was in the real world was the one that was supposed to be there originally, correct?
By the end, they make you question because the main protagonist chick's clone manages to not be a complete maniac and may or may not have killed the real lady and it adopted her family pretending to be the real lady. So whatever, but it's just like, who made these clones? Why were they under there? Why they torture? Why they clone rabbits too? The whole underground was full of rabbits. Maybe that's just like some Alice in Wonderland tip, like follow the rabbit down the hole.
They're testing on the rabbits. That's why there's so many.
But it's just like abandoned and like, it's just like, what was the point?
Was there any entity behind all this? Like there was
no explanation. It was just like these people came out on the ground and wearing red suits and they were killing and wearing weird masks and acting like serial killers. It's not a whole lot there. But Nope was, more straightforward. It's a UFO. These people on a ranch, they want to film it.
And the UFO is, you said that it's called upon by somebody, right?
Right. Yeah. There's a former child actor in the show who experienced a very traumatic episode when they were younger. A chimpanzee was on the set, went fucking crazy, ballistic, chewed a lady's face off, and got shot right in front of him. So he grows up and he is living on a ranch and he's out in California and there's a UFO around there and he discovers that he can lure them in with horses from his ranch and other ranches. And he makes a show out of it.
So they eat the horses, I assume? They suck them up to
It sucks up the horse, and then the ranch hosts a show where everybody watches it. And so he's trying to tame the beast, if you will.
Did they explain the reasoning why it's such a hot zone for that UFO?
No, they don't really say why the UFO is there.
No.
The way that they portrayed the UFO in the movie was kind of crazy because it wasn't like a mechanistic. It was an actual singular organism. That's what they made it look like. It was one living thing that actually was able to change shape.
Okay.
And it's normal shape is that UFO shape that we're familiar with.
And there wasn't a being that came out of the.
It was the actual organism. So it almost it made it seem like it was just a part of nature that we never see, which is an interesting way to portray it, because I was watching Jeremy Corbyn on Joe Rogan.
Who's Jeremy Corbyn?
Jeremy Corbyn is the documentarian who put out Bob Lazar, Bob Lazar's UFO thing.
Yeah.
And when he was talking to Joe Rogan, the way that he described, because he was trying to what do you think it is? Joe Rogan asked him, just leveled this, what do you think it is? Like, I don't know, man. What if it's just like a part of nature that has always existed and we've never been able to understand it? And so the portrayal of this UFO as a part of nature was very interesting by Jordan Peele in the movie Nope, because it was territorial. That's how they were describing it. By him doing that and patronizing the UFO understood this and was upset and mad.
That's why he would show up, and
that's why he not only got mad at the rancher, but the protagonists on their ranch who were trying to film it. Because the UFO started showing up on their place and getting mad too, because fuck it, the whole area is mine. Why y'all fucking with me?
Yeah.
Basically, the UFO was reacting that way.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because the UFO changed shape. And I described it last time, kind of like the motif of the movie is just like the monster of Hollywood. Because the movie, the UFO didn't want you to look at it.
Yeah.
If you didn't look at the UFO, it wouldn't suck you up.
It's just so hard not to look at, though, I'm sure.
Exactly. And that's what Jordan Peele was trying to say. It's like he was talking about the idea of a spectacle. And it's hard not to look at. But when you look at it, you give it power. If you don't look at it, you don't give it power. So that's what kind of that meant. But the whole idea is just a monster of Hollywood. And I watched the movie a couple times. The only thing that I can't explain really is the shoe.
Oh, yeah, you said there was a shoe just standing up or something.
There was a shoe standing up when they make that cut to the past where they show you that horrible incident where the chimpanzee killed a bunch of people and was chewing that chick's face off.
Knuckle bonk the kid.
And the Asian child star actor was just sitting there watching him. There was one of the shoes of the chick that was having her face eaten off was just sitting there floating. It was just sitting there like that. And so it doesn't make sense for it to be standing there like that, right? It should fall over. And the only thing that I've heard suggested or I can think of is the saying, it's like, well, when the other shoe drops. Or wait for the other shoe to drop or something like that. Which is kind of a saying that suggests it's like, wait till it drops so we can see what becomes of all of this.
So when you're watching the movie and you're looking at this scene, this isn't just a still shot. This is like a running shot where the shoe is just standing there, right?
Right. And then later on it's in his memorabilia museum in the back of his office or whatever. So he kept the shoe. For some reason it's significant. But they don't say why. And so when you say, well, when the other shoe drops, you're waiting to see what the results of all this is. You think of the actual actor himself. He was through trauma. He went through a trauma as an actor in the industry, right? So industry trauma and just the monster that we have come to know as Hollywood, right? All these things come out, childhood star actors, we hear about pedophilia. We're just sitting here looking at the monster that is Hollywood, giving it power, and we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because we hear of all of these things, but we haven't seen any consequences. What happened with those trials? What were the verdicts? Did anyone go to jail? No. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Those consequences are coming. Are we in the age of Aquarius where the veil is being lifted? And that was the tie we made to the movie.
We made a realization last time. Daniel, said that thing, the veil is lifted. And then I realized, we're talking about Hollywood, the curtains. And at the very end of the movie, when the alien has become totally flustered and assumes its, I guess, normal form, it's expanding slowly and expanding, and it looks like a bunch of curtains or sails or just it's like fabric or whatever. And so it's literally the curtains of Hollywood.
Bam. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So yeah, that movie was cool. But if you're not into that kind of, stuff,
sci-fi. Not even sci-fi.
And it was a
Yeah,
decent
sci-fi.
thriller. It was a decent thriller besides all of that intellectual shit.
Yeah, but nah, man. I think we talked about this last time too, bro. There's no original, storylines in movies anymore. All of it's just remakes or just tropes of different movies we've seen in the past, and that was why I like the Jordan Peele stuff. Like everything he makes is all just original stories. Like, what format of Get Out? What format of Nope? What format of This Is Us have you ever seen?
Well,
What
This Is Us,
template
I
of those-
suggested, besides the underground stuff, it was
Yeah.
basically just like a serial killer massacre movie. Like, you don't really know why these people are just going out and killing, whatever.
Yeah.
Just kind of like at the very end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just
I
that
don't
kind
think
of
I saw
vibe.
that one. I don't think I saw that one. No.
It was decent, I guess.
Was it one of those superstar cast type shits?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino. Yeah.
Yeah, it was his movie.
But yeah,
But yeah,
man, everything's just superheroes and remakes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that Top Gun, a movie that came out in the 80s that they redid in 2022, is the most grossing movie of all time.
Because that's something you can't get anywhere else. You can't see jets doing crazy shit like that in any other movie because nobody else is gonna put the time or the money to do that kind of shit besides Tom Cruise.
Need for Speed.
Huh?
Need for Speed.
You mean Fast and
Oh, I'm
Furious?
sorry, Fast and Furious.
But that's all CGI. If I'm not mistaken, they went into space, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of shit is that? Okay. Tom Cruise got real actors to sit in jets when their faces are going like this. That's not
real.
acting. They're
That's
really
real.
in the back seat of a fucking jet.
Bro, and Tom Cruise is wild. He's a wild guy, man. Like
Rumor is on some next projects he wants to do in space. Tom Cruise is gonna have the first movie with scenes actually filmed in space in real no gravity.
Is it Mission Impossible 12?
That would make sense. That would make sense.
He's already filming Mission Impossible 12. But no, man, like he's like he does his own stunts. He does all of his own stunts.
Right.
He learned how to fly a jet plane for the movie.
Right.
Like he is incredible. Besides all the Scientology weirdo shit, like he's a great fucking actor, man. You remember Tropic Thunder?
At the very end, yeah, the producer, CEO, or whatever dude.
Yes, bro. I watched that and
His little jig.
I was watching it, and whoever I was watching it with, they told me that was Tom Cruise. I'm like, man, no, that ain't fucking Tom
He's
Cruise.
good,
That
bro.
ain't fucking y'all lying.
He's good.
Saw the fucking credits at the end. Tom Cruise. I was like, what? That's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's good, bro.
He's a really good actor, man.
I think we might have asked this last time, but like, who else is it on his level?
Tom
Who else
Cruise?
is on the way to be that level? That kind of star power that almost guarantees a movie's gonna succeed,
Leo.
or is even like transcending the role of an actor and is just like the guy in charge. Like Tom Cruise made that movie. That's Tom Cruise's movie.
Mission Impossibles.
But just like he's the producer, actor,
Yes,
superstar, all
yes,
in one.
yeah,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah,
Who
yeah,
is
yeah.
that guy? Nobody else. Tom Cruise is the
Nah.
only one. Leonardo DiCaprio's not making his own shit like that. He's waiting for jobs like everybody else.
Tarantino,
Tarantino is a director.
but he is in all of his movies he directs.
Yeah,
But he's not, like
of
the
recently.
lead. He's not the lead. Yeah,
He's
you're
not
right.
the guy.
He's not. He's
He's
the
just
guy.
putting cameos in his own shit.
Sometimes I think that's doing too much. Like, why you got to do all that?
Will Smith is that's the other thing. It is Will Smith because Will Smith a long time ago decided that he was going to do everything Tom Cruise did.
Scientology,
But just the way that he is with the fans, like Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise will promote the hell out of a movie.
yeah,
He'll go everywhere, talk to everyone, do everything
Yeah.
for hours nonstop. Will Smith at one point decided it is my mission to get his fucking PR schedule and do 5 hours more per day or whatever than him. He failed. He couldn't do it, but it's still progress. And Will Smith changed his strategy once he realized Will Smith or that Tom Cruise was that dude.
untouchable.
But that was back then. We've seen the results of that progress. Will Smith is pretty accessible. He's always on like social media and shit like that, and always gets people and he's very friendly and open.
Yes, he's out there.
Like, I don't really see The Rock doing that kind of stuff like Will Smith.
Really?
Really? Do you see that?
Yeah, The Rock is everywhere. Man, him and Kevin Hart do all kinds of
He
shit.
does promotional shit, but like really like getting close to the people.
Nah, you're right now.
Will Smith tries tries more in that realm,
Yeah. Will Smith
and
is
he's in that category of making his own, media company. Basically, he's just making his own new slave movie right now. That's Will Smith's movie. You know
it
what I'm
wasn't
saying?
directed by Will Smith though. It was but like William Coolidge or something
So
like
what?
that.
He's
was
not
the
a director.
director.
Of course, somebody else directed Top Gun, but it was still, we know who made that movie.
Producer or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
You got to get somebody to do the job. But like Will Smith was like, I want to do a slave movie.
But let us not forget about Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
As corny as all of his movies are,
Okay, but that's not the same level of superstardom.
no, it's not. Not at all. Not at all. But he's got his own studio. This Tom Cruise
top lead actor, lead role.
does Tom Cruise have his own studio?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's had this for a while. That's what's making.
Really?
That's what's making the Mission Impossible movies. That's what's making the Tom.
Oh.
That's why he's making the shit. That's what I'm saying. Who's on his level? Where he's a
Nobody.
superstar.
Nobody.
He's the lead actor.
Nobody.
He's making the movies happen.
Maybe Hugh
Leonardo
Jackman.
DiCaprio's waiting for jobs.
Hugh Jackman.
Brad Pitt's waiting for jobs. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is waiting for jobs. Will Smith is making his own movies.
Hugh Jackman.
Come on, Hugh Jackman. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about?
He's not even American.
So
Will Smith is getting to that level. Give him more time. But
who's older, Will Smith or?
But Will Smith is just not as good as Tom. I
No.
mean, Tom's doing those action movies and doing his own stunts. Like the only other person that you can that's super noteworthy like that has done their own stunts for their whole career is Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. And
Both of them are
he's
on
not
that level where
doing
they've been
shit.
hospitalized for their movies on many occasions.
Like, what was the last Jackie Chan movie, bro?
What do you want? What do you
I can't
want?
think of
There's
one.
only so many little kung fu movies that you made like that.
Dude, yeah, Kung Fu movies fell off. That's not a trend anymore. I remember early 2000s, Kung Fu movies, early 90s, mid 90s, Kung Fu movies were popping.
Popping, bro.
Ip Man, remember that Ip Man came out? We were wild on that Ip
Oh
Man
shit, that movie was crazy.
Maybe it's just anime. We put that Kung Fu stuff in the animes now.
It's superheroes, bro. We don't want to see
Superheroes.
that stuff anymore. We want to
Superheroes
see
do Kung Fu
superpowers.
Yeah, I guess. The love for the arts. The love for the arts isn't there anymore.
It's the choreography. They don't put choreo. There's pretty shitty there's no full choreography. They all
that could
use
be
like
it.
moves and like blasts and stuff. Nobody's literally punching each other anymore. There's no choreography. There's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, you see ducked, you fucking
Fucking ice breath from 30 feet away. I want to see a fucking fist fight, bro.
right.
Damn.
It's like that's fucking. At least Spider-Man did that, right?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man at the end of the day is punching people and dodging shit. So that's choreography.
I've always liked the Spider-Man movies. I feel like there's always more action in the Spider-Man movies than most other superhero movies.
Yeah.
Iron Man was pretty action-packed.
The recent Spider-Man movies are fucking definitely
Whack.
They're not. They don't have that. There's a bunch of fucking talking and plot progression and talking and plot progression. Spider-Man, does he punch somebody?
No.
He just holds up the glider like this, and then the movie over.
Bring back Toby. He's a fucking savage. Toby's a fucking savage. he gives me Shia LaBeouf vibes for sure.
They're CGIing the fights now. It's not the same.
Literally.
It's not the same.
Damn, bro. Where have we come? Where have we gone, bro?
Where's the kung fu movies? Damn it!
Where have we gone?
And you think that that would work? I mean, fucking anime is so popular, and everybody's fucking punching and doing cool moves and that shit.
Cobra Kai on Netflix.
Cobra Kai, but that's
Karate Kid shit.
give me a movie.
I don't think there's gonna be any more kung fu shit. Like I said, that's out the fucking window.
Man, I want to see a good kung fu movie. Fuck that. MMA is so popular right now. Martial arts. How is there not an MMA movie at least?
I'm sure there is. It's just probably Japanese or
That's my question.
And
When
then
are we
make
gonna
it
get an
way over
MMA
here.
movie? We make all these fucking boxing movies.
they did.
Boxing is not even that cool anymore.
Fight Club MMA movie,
Okay,
but that was in like what 2004, 3, 2.
that was
something like
also not an MMA movie.
Yeah, it was.
Not really. Come on.
It was mixed martial arts fighting.
It was bare knuckle brawling,
Mm-hmm.
but that was not actually MMA. It's not like a
No, it
protagonist. You see him train, overcome his rival and then win blah 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 whatever. Give me a Creed type movie, but it's like MMA. How many boxing movies has come out? So many, and it's a dying sport. Where's the MMA movie?
This is America, bro.
It's gonna happen.
This is America.
When is Conor McGregor gonna make his biopic?
No one's gonna watch that. Oh, shit, dude. No one's gonna watch that. Fuck Connor.
Jake Paul, we need you to make a movie.
Speaking of Jake Paul, he fought Anderson Silva last weekend.
Yeah, that's right. How was that?
He won
He won. I heard that
by decision,
by decision.
unanimous,
I heard that Anderson Silva was dipping his punches.
dipping his punches. What like
Just like not punching as good as he
usually would.
would. But that's also an aged Silva who is
45-year-old man.
right. Was he fighting beforehand?
No,
He
His
came
last-
out for this, right? He came out for the check.
his last fight was like
I mean, you could say he was
6
dipping
years
his
ago.
punches, or those are just worn out punches.
yeah.
I think that's more likely.
And then I can't really. I'll give it to Jake Paul. He's winning these matches. He's winning. I'll give it to him. But he's fighting old men, old retired men that aren't really boxers. And then at the end of this fight, he called out. Who did he call out? Canelo, and he called out somebody else, Nate Diaz.
And he's calling him out, okay? He's calling out serious people, but like deals are not being made because I don't even know what. But what he's doing is not bad.
Deals aren't being made is because his pay-per-views are not selling. That's his issue.
Really, the pay-per-views aren't selling
at all.
What?
That
I
was
thought that they would be
no. This last one, I'm sure you can look it up.
versus Silva.
Yeah, I think it was like
His
it was
better,
bad. It
his
was bad.
more headliney grabbing fights were definitely the first ones.
Yeah.
You can only do
Even-
this clown fighting this guy for so long.
Even that black dude MMA fighter that he had last fight that pay-per-view didn't do well at all either.
Yeah, it was a gimmick.
And
It's a
that's-
gimmick.
And that's what everybody in like the fighting community talks shit about him, and Dana White talks about him. It's like, bro, if you say you can do it better, do it better. And you know the numbers aren't showing it.
But that's a kind of situation where he has talked himself out of having to meet that requirement, right? He's talked so much shit about the MMA and about the official league so much that of course they won't do business with him,
Of
and
course.
therefore you'll never have to see how trashy he is. So it's like a win-win for him when he does that.
Yeah, I mean he's still getting the bag fighting these soup cans. You're right.
Exactly. That's what he's
You're
trying
right.
to do.
You're right.
He'll never have to actually fight Canelo because they'll never let it happen because he's disgraced the official leagues so much.
Yeah, but I mean,
So he gets to hide behind that.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jake Paul on a UFC card, an MMA fight card, bro. That'd be hilarious. Watching him get
that's-
folded.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not gonna do that. He's a boxer.
yeah, it's too many skills for him
He's
to
just
learn
gonna box.
so fast. That's too much.
And that's the thing. Like people in the MMA world can step out and fight him, like because it's not like if you're in the UFC, I'm sure you've taken some kind of striking boxing class. You know what I'm saying? So if he's really
course.
gonna call somebody out that's really about that, I think he's gonna get his ass whooped. And then his brother Logan Paul is in the WWE.
Oh, really?
Like, bro, he just beat Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is like
Whatever.
one of the top. Like, you never got.
Oh, they wrote that into the script? Nice.
You didn't watch wrestling when you were a kid.
Nah, man.
Oh,
I thought we
man.
talked about this with John.
Oh,
Johnny Boy
man.
Jacobs.
Yeah, bro. I just messaged him today. It was his birthday today. He's moving to fucking Maine.
Oh, he's moving to Maine?
Maine, bro.
Wild.
I guess he said he's making like 2 to 4K or 3 to 4K a month there. You know, I'm like, all right, bro, do your thing, dog. Go freeze your dick off.
Chasing the bag, you got to.
Yeah,
What can you
man.
do? I'm sure the
Shit.
cost of living is lower there too, so it's a win-win on both sides.
Yeah.
It's just how long can you do that? Live, such a foreign lifestyle and isolated from everyone.
Far, bro. You're in Canada. Like that's Canada, basically.
Yeah, the real mission is when you move out to do something like that is like, how can I transition this to something more sustainable where I'm not attached to bumfuck Maine? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How do I take this money and whatever opportunities to learn and grow that,
Just take trips, man. I'd be out of there as much as I could.
and try and make shit happen so you can leave.
Making 4K a month, bro. You should.
Because
you could be able
otherwise
to-
you're just going to get tired and move back and everything was for loss.
yeah,
That money goes away and your new wages are low again.
bro. But if AT,
Unless you really love it. Shit, maybe you will love Maine. Fucking what's cool in Maine?
I don't know. I don't know anyone that's ever been or has lived there or has any type of stories about living in Maine or being in Maine.
What are you going to say?
If AT&T was like, "Hey, we're gonna pay you 3 to 4K a month to go run a store up in Maine," I'm on that, dude. I'm on that.
How much more a month?
3 to 4K a month.
Oh, okay.
I'm on that, dude. What's that in a year? What's 4 times 12? 40. Nah.
I don't know, 65. 65,000.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's not even really like that. Never mind.
Yeah, you wouldn't leave for that much more money.
Nah. If it was like 80, 90, yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's like, okay, what do I do with that? And for how long
Sit on it,
do you do it?
stack it, sit on it.
How long do you stay working in Maine where you don't like it?
Well, I mean, like I said, if you're making money like that, if you're making 80, 90K a month, you can be up there during the week and work and, come back to Tampa, have an apartment here, pay some rent on an
And you're
apartment
wasting
here.
your money. What's the point?
You're not wasting it.
Yeah, you are.
You're
You're
not
spending an
wasting
extra lot of money just so you can have a way to escape your new circumstance.
I'm sure there's some kind of, not some kind of. I know you're going to be saving money. There's going to be extra money to put away, still with paying a whatever $1,200 rent here in Tampa. I don't know. I'm sure rent there is probably like $700, $600. I don't know. But
All I say is just make an escape plan.
if I really found a girl I love and wanted to marry, I would, to save some money and like live good and shit, I would go live in like Idaho or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like if I was just like fucking in love and just didn't give a fuck about everybody else.
That's what the definition of ready to settle down is. But like, when do you settle down? You got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying?
I got a lot of work to do. You kidding me? Oh, man. We ain't at 6 figures yet, bro. We ain't there yet.
It's like Tom Brady's wife wanted him to fucking stop working at 40. How old is he?
44, 43.
How do you do that? You're 44 and you just finished an amazing career. You just stop doing anything. You have no more. You just suddenly are supposed to lose the motivation to do anything.
And no, you're right. And that's, you got to think like someone like Tom Brady that's won so much and just been so successful and has just been that hungry and dedicated.
That's what he does.
There's a sickness in your fucking head.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he retired like back like with all this success back in like the early 2000s, we probably would have been hearing some crazy, stories about Tom Brady retiring. Like, oh, because that's what they were saying about Kobe Bryant, like how hard he worked and how much of a grinder he was. They were scared like he was gonna have a really bad retirement and just like spiral out. But
because how do you stop?
Exactly, like when you're
that lady wanted him to stop.
When you're at that, when you're still competing at that high of a level, I understand. Like I don't understand how you can just stop. Like that is just like being a crackhead and trying to drop cocaine, cold turkey. Like
let's not compare it to drugs because that's an amazing thing to be successful at something for so long.
It's the same, like success, the feeling, the euphoria, the high in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Drugs and success and the feeling you get with success and the feeling you get with drugs, I'm sure is the same, chemical, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. We reduce it to chemicals, but let's not be reductionist here.
But still, you know what I'm saying?
It's an amazing gratification, and how can you ask someone to stop that?
Exactly. Even on
because I'm a
success.
supermodel and I got the money, and you're thinking reductionist. It's not about the money.
Exactly.
It's about me going out there and fulfilling my purpose.
Fulfilling your purpose, putting it on the field, ending
Working
it when you want to.
Succeeding at it.
Nothing to look back on. Oh, I should have did this, should have done that.
How do you stop at 42 years old?
Exactly. But no, shout out to the GOAT, man. Shout out to the GOAT. He got that divorce and went through. It's finalized. Now we can focus on, the season and get a win, okay?
Nah, he'll never be the same. Are you kidding?
What you mean never be the same?
He'll never be the same. His family...
Like, fucked up in what you mean?
Yeah, because his whole foundation is gone now. He had a lifestyle. He had a family. He had a living situation.
But here, listen to this.
And now it's gone.
Listen to this. Most of the reasoning why Giselle even wanted to split up with him is because they were having issues with, him being home and being with the family and being with the kids. So I'm sure that's been an issue which he hasn't really dealt with, or maybe even doesn't really care to deal with at this time in his career because he's so focused on football. In the offseason, I'm sure, and that's, like I said, that's the thing with these athletes that are, super hyper successful and are the best is like it's a sickness, man. The greatness is a sickness. Like they'll put their family to the side to focus on their craft, and I get that. I totally get that. So I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. Like I'm sure he'll keep doing the same thing he was doing. Maybe he doesn't have his fucking witch supermodel wife living in his house.
Well, we don't know if she was
that.
a witch. We don't know that.
No, she was. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I mean, I don't know Tom Brady's life like that, so maybe you know more than me.
Let me tell you this, dog.
What did she do?
This, bro. She has like shrines of him, and like he was in like. Have you heard of the barbershop interviews? Like when they have athletes just in a barbershop just talking shit.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
He was saying how like his wife, like the last like every time he won a Super Bowl, his wife would tell him, "Hey, baby, man, this is your year. I did my little thing, blah, 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 blah. Baby, this is your year. Won the Super Bowl. Baby, you know what? This isn't your year. I didn't win the Super Bowl. Baby, this year is your fucking year." Every time she would say that, he would win the fucking Super Bowl. And like she would like hold back not telling him sometimes. Like he would have to pull it out of her to tell him that, baby, this isn't your fucking year. So she's doing something. She was doing something. She knows something. Like
Some sort of Brazilian Santeria.
Something, dude. Like I said, she has a shrine. Like he even talks about it. Like he has a shrine in my boy, bro.
That's kind of weird. Wow.
To like do whatever seances Wiccans do.
Alrighty then.
That's a real one though. That's Bay.
I need you to make a deal with the devil for me.
Let my girl be trying to. Let my girl be doing some success Wiccan shit on me. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
What the hell?
Give me all the success. You'll get the success to it. You'll feed off of it. Just got to show your value.
Success does something weird to you, just like it did to Kanye.
Yeah, success.
When you reach the height of your career.
When you get to the height of your career. Kanye's situation is when you get to the height of your career and you don't have anything else to do and you're bored.
Yeah.
Brady ain't bored yet.
No, he's not.
Kobe wasn't bored yet. Jordan wasn't bored yet. Nigga retired 3 times. He wasn't bored yet.
Rare thing nowadays.
I don't have to be there.
A fully staffed location of anything, you know what I'm saying? That's rare. Treat them right so they don't leave.
I'm not saying we're not fully staffed. Like 2 of them are only there 3-4 days out of the week, but it's enough for me not have to be there all day on the weekends and have to open every day. It's weird that they know how to do like some of the back office stuff because I've been so used to, doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a little weird when they start boxing up stuff and I don't know what's going in the box.
You feel less necessary at that location.
Yes.
We better find a way to correct that.
I'm not going to say I become unnecessary, but they know that I'm the information pool. That's enough right there. Just my knowledge.
It's like when you're ahead on a board game, you got to complain like a motherfucker. So nobody looks like, oh, wait a second, this guy's winning, we should gang up on him. You got to complain like a motherfucker.
Sounds like a game of Risk there.
Exactly. I got to get some. I'm working on there's a guy I know that I think he's a pastry chef. I don't know where he's worked, but I feel like he's working something cool right now. Anyways, I'm trying to get him on so we can talk about fucking, I don't know, food, culinary.
I mean, I was in culinary all 4 years of high school, bro. Don't get it twisted, bro.
I know.
But Desiree she knows somebody that's like a personal chef for some athletes and stuff. And she was talking about us having him on, but
Yeah, man. That sounds cool.
she used to mess with him, I guess, or was talking to him and stopped talking
That's
to
all
him.
of these connections from Desiree. All these conflict of interest connections from Desiree.
Hey, if it brings guests on, whatever.
No.
But still, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Personal chef.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to find about that walk of life. Meta, Facebook, Zucker. They came out with their latest advertisements of what their metaverse and VR, AR is capable of. The craziest thing I saw was, you've seen the the first generation of little avatar thing. It was like some weird version of Weemies or whatever. It's kind of cartoony. But it's like, what if you don't want to look like a cartoon? What if you want to look like yourself? Well, they're working on that pretty successfully. So what they've advertised is you just take your phone, kind of like what you do with the, like on 2K, you just scan your face from every direction. Except this one is pretty intense.
Full body.
And it's going to assemble them very high resolution. So it's going to make, have you seen Unreal Engine's character creator?
No. What game's Unreal Engine? Is that
Unreal Engine 5. But it's just like it looks super high realistic, and it is just a 3D model. And of course, you put on their goggles, which has eye tracker, so it tracks your eyebrows too, and all your facial expressions, and it tracks your mouth. Mm-hmm. So you're in this photorealistic virtual model that is moving and talking like you do.
So say you got a mic connected up to your head. The words you say, your avatar is gonna, mouth and mimic.
And express as many emotions as their cameras can capture. The same as your face is making. So if you frown, you're going to see that. It's like you're in a board table, right? Instead of a Zoom meeting, you get into a meta meeting, right? Mm-hmm. And it's everybody's 3D models looking left and right at each other, sitting around this table in a virtual space. And it's photorealistic models, and it's seeing your expressions.
Okay, so here, wait. Maybe I missed this. So to do this live, you're gonna have to have a camera pointed at you of some kind.
It's built into the VR goggles, the MetaQuest Pros, like those VR headsets have cameras inside to track your eyes and your eyebrows.
Oh, okay,
and then on the outside, looking down at your face and your jaw as you talk and make facial expressions.
Okay, I'm thinking you have like something set up that's like looking at your face and projecting that into some kind of avatar. Real time. Ew.
So that's what the 3D scans can make. That looks just like a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then you make it talk. So those facial expressions were made by manipulation of the 3D avatar. That was a 3D avatar based off of what the person wearing the goggles was doing. Mm-hmm. That was just a basic facial emotion test. Or it was like smile, okay, laugh. And that's what it looks like raw.
And then the cameras on it add the details, I guess color details.
Yeah, that information comes from the 3D scan. Yeah. So that's what MetaQuest is, or Metaverse is incorporating. Let's see if we can get a live an example here from Meta itself.
God,
that's the avatar right there.
It makes
being animated by the goggles tracking the facial expression.
It makes you uncomfortable because it's like it's fake, but it looks real. So it's like
that's actually something built into the human.
Makes you cringe.
The human cognition.
What
is built into our psyche is that when something is just close to being human but off, it disturbs us. Yeah, and it makes us feel off.
Yeah, because it's like
That's why the deep fakes are bothersome. That's why that is kind of bothersome because, of course, it's not perfect, and our brain is so perfect that it can detect that
imperfections
and make us a little feel weird.
It's like you're an imposter.
That's what the horror movies do, right? The Ring was just a girl, but she was walking with her head upside down on the floor.
Fucked up.
So just a little off, something a little off, and it makes you feel weird.
I get that. I totally understand that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, they're crazy real. It's like we don't even need that goofy movie stuff where you see the guys in the skin suits wearing all the ping pong balls so they can track them. We don't need none of that no more. It's just a camera some advanced cameras pointing at people, and boom, you got a 3D model
lights.
animated instantly almost. Here they are. They're talking to each other.
Bro, what the fuck? Her eyes went wonky. That was
So
uncomfortable.
now it's like deep fake is to the next level, where before it was just a the other person's face with whatever rendered on top of it. Now it's the
your
actual person's
face.
face. So what if you can get access to somebody's 3D scan, and then you just put on some goggles and call somebody or make a recording?
That dude.
That's crazy.
I want to just fast forward 20 years just to see where all this shit is and just be in awe. Just everyone's just probably in their house, just going out to the bar in metaverse.
Nah, man, because you gotta actually go to the bar to get some. I mean, or maybe we're all just fucking drinking on our couch, pretending to be at a bar together. I don't know.
I don't know. Vacations.
Nah, people, it's it's a thing. You play video games sometimes. Sometimes you go out and do whatever. It's not like you always want to do this.
But like when is this gonna be the daily, like the everyday thing?
It won't be for most people. It's like your job doesn't require you to just be like some
The streamers, the YouTubers, the content creators, yeah,
upper levels
yeah.
of different, corporations that have positions all across the country that need to meet together. They might hop into a
this,
meeting
yeah.
in this format. We wouldn't need to do that, but we might do some other stuff like that for fun.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know.
When it's become a daily life, not for nobody. It's by choice. Some people are going to be absorbed by it, but some of those same people are also absorbed by any technology that they have, their phone, their tablet, etc.
When I see this stuff, I just think of ill use with the government.
Ill use with the government. People try to impersonate. Just them, what? Knowing your full identity.
No, just them manipulating, the masses with this bullshit.
With this bullshit. I don't even know what. You take a politician's face scan and then pretend that they're, you know what I'm saying? The deep fakes become limitless when you have this technology.
Exactly.
So our ability to discern what is real and what is not is becoming very important.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
And that's when shit gets out of hand, when, can't.
I don't know what
determine
technology
the real
was
from the
used.
fake.
I don't know what technology was used to recreate, but a few weeks ago, I don't know when it was, they came out with Steve Jobs being interviewed by Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
Double deep fake interview that followed a general flow of a conversation.
And they had like Joe Rogan Steve Jobs sitting in the Joe Rogan studio.
It was a virtual, so it was a Zoom meeting, but nonetheless, they had Steve Jobs talking to Joe Rogan in a coherent conversation that had a general flow.
And this was like pieced together by a third party, or
It was made by AI using a collective analysis of everything that has been said by both of them, and then stitching it together with AI to create this whole everything.
That's cool. Recently, this season in baseball, I guess like this famous fucking baseball announcer died, and they had like a deep fake generated version of him calling some plays in the fucking press box, bro. That shit was insane. It looked like he was literally right there. You should look it up.
That's crazy. But that brings up a crazy idea. It's like that one Disney movie or that one Disney video that we're looking. It's like they own their actors' likeness after they die.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what's the limit on that? We can just use your image in perpetuity after you die because we can deep fake you now.
Because, bro, I remember you put me onto this like deep fake shit. Like right after I got out of the hospital, you pulled up and there was this YouTuber that was like breaking down like how literally they're getting the it's just now hitting the years of like people that died back in like the 50s and 60s to have the rights, probably would have all the rights to that fucking actor. So I think the first actor that they have all the rights to, they're going to make a whole movie with a deep fake. I forgot what the actor's name is. I don't know. You could probably look it up. I don't know.
They already did it. It was with James Dean.
James Dean.
They made
yes.
that Vietnam movie with James Dean.
Yes.
Deep faked the whole time.
Yes. Like when is that? When are we going to see like old ass actors being put back into movies.
Frank Sinatra deep faked in
And
a
how
movie.
morally correct is that? You know what I'm saying? Like where is
Marilyn Monroe deep faked in a
that?
movie.
Exactly. Like all these people fucking.
They just had that shitty movie for her. I don't know
They
if it was
did.
good.
No,
I'm calling it shitty.
They had somebody play her.
Exactly. So like, when do they do it with a deep fake next?
We'll see, man. That's what I'm saying. Like the future is interesting, man. Very interesting.
So like,
We'll
well,
see
that's
where
what
we
I
go.
said one time. It's like, well, okay, at a certain point, we're not going to have actors anymore. It's all going to be CGI and deep fakeified.
Deepfakes.
We're just going to have a bunch of voice actors and voice actresses
Nah.
just voicing everything.
They'll be able to piece together all the audio from their fucking catalog and chop it up.
Embodying
and put
the
it on.
emotion, that will be a little bit more difficult. I think humans still have an edge on that. Voice acting
Yes.
still has an edge on that aspect.
They did it with Mr. Potato Head for Toy Story.
What do you mean?
The voice actor for Mr. Potato Head died
Oh my god!
right before they started filming. Like,
oh my god!
the late. You didn't know that?
You see?
The latest Toy Story, and they literally pieced together all of his words from every movie and made it. You can't even tell.
That is fucking wild.
So they're doing it. They can do it. A lot of
Yes,
stuff.
sir, folks.
Future's bright, people. Don't be so negative on the future. It's bright. Push out all this
And
stuff.
then imagine it's like what we were talking about, right? It's like technology has to be introduced in aspects. It's not even just technology; it's aspects of human culture and civilization, and the I think about our expanding of standards in terms of like genders and sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is also what I'm talking about. Like these different things have to be introduced slowly, otherwise society flips the fuck out.
They did with all this
With
stuff.
yeah, they did
going
right
wild, right? They're going nuts. People are so split in half right now.
with gender stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
rocking society pretty hard, but like it is something that we have to learn in order to avoid deaths of despair. Remember we looked that up last time? Deaths of despair. Deaths from mental illness and just whatever.
Just sadness,
and
just
sadness and suicide, etc.
not bodily harm death or health death, just
So yeah,
bad psyche death.
society has to be exposed to shit so we can figure out some sort of game plan and therefore people can follow.
Yeah. Like I said, Age of Aquarius, man. Everything's being learned. We're all learning. Things is being shown. Veils are being lifted.
It's like these computers and stuff came out in the 80s. Imagine if they rushed immediately to build the craziest shit they could. Because, allegedly they got all this technology, right? It's just back there is like, how do we make it? We got all these secret blueprints. How do we make it?
But think about it.
If they tried really hard and they actually made it and we could get the metaverse in the 80s when they actually thought it
Nah.
might happen.
No. Well, yeah, because think about Back to the Future. They went to 2015. 2015, bro.
Exactly. That's how early, like, as soon as the technology comes out, people, ideas, and philosophers already picture where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And it's like immediately they made that movie and they were like, oh, this was going to happen. It's kind of wild.
We are nowhere near where they went to in the future in that Back to the Future movie.
They just couldn't think of what would actually happen. In certain ways, we're also better.
And that's crazy, man. You that opening scene when they first get there is cars just flying through the air like an air highway. And we're 7 years past that and we're not even close. We're not even close. Fuck.
Yeah, that's just the Jetsons.
That's crazy.
The Jetsons made everybody think that flying cars was the future.
What year was the Jetsons? What year was
The
that?
thing about the Jetsons was they were actually living in space, and so they were not flying cars, they were flying spaceships.
Spaceships. Yeah.
But, they were cars, right?
Did my phone fall on the floor?
Yeah, they were living out in space, and I should take a look at the Jetsons as an overview.
Rewatch it
Yeah, because,
as an adult.
because sci-fis are, they're cool. Sci-fi is, it's a little retrospective. What do they think the future was going to be?
I don't
It's an
think
interesting little experiment.
it would be good. I think it would be dated.
To watch the Jetsons. I'm not going to
Yeah.
watch the Jetsons. I'm going to see a YouTube video of an overview of the Jetsons.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? A review of the Jetsons.
But
'Cause I'm trying to remember exactly whether, if I'm not mistaken, they just live in floating space compounds that exist free of the planet.
yeah. Yeah, but what?
So they hypothesized people will be colonizing and just building floating platforms to live on in space.
In space, yeah.
That's an interesting prediction or imagination of the future.
Bro, I think I did send this in the group chat. It was like a picture of George Jetson's
That's
ID,
right, that's
and he was
right.
born in like 2021 or something like that.
Yes, yep. He was born in 2021, so we're
That's crazy.
30 years away from, or 40, 35, 38. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
I
old
think he was like 30. I don't know.
Yeah, we're 30 years away from the Jetsons.
30 years? No, man, no. But I was gonna say this. The one thing that I do like about like those old cartoons, like the Jetsons and stuff, is they show the nuclear family, man. They glorify the nuclear family, man. That's good. We need that in TV nowadays, man.
Yeah, they do glorify the nuclear family.
You don't get let Dexter's Lab glorify the nuclear family. Fucking, I would say
You're saying children cartoons don't have families anymore? No, they don't. They're all crazy
No, they
random
don't.
animals living
they
together and
don't.
getting high.
They don't.
I'm joking.
Not theoretically getting high.
Those are not kids movies. Those are teenager cartoons.
It's like there is no
Real kids cartoons.
Adventure Time. There is no nuclear family in that. Codename.
Adventure Time's not a real children cartoon.
Okay, what is a real children's cartoon nowadays that shows the nuclear family?
I don't know, man.
No, yeah, there's no cartoons that I watch nowadays.
I don't know
Kid
what
shows.
cartoons are out there.
Yeah, but maybe I'm wrong. Shit, maybe I'm wrong. That could be an ignorant statement. I don't watch kid cartoons.
Scooby Doo wasn't a nuclear family.
No, I just feel like they're better not better, but that's fucking with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Bear in the Big Blue House wasn't a fucking nuclear family.
That's not a cartoon either. Bro, I found the guy, the puppeteer for Big in the Big Blue House on TikTok. And like he literally did the puppet, he sang, he did the voice and everything, bro. And I think it's coming on Disney Plus. It actually is on Disney Plus now if you want to watch Bear in the Big Blue House, little throwback for you 90s babies. Disney
I didn't have
Plus.
a shit. I only had Nickelodeon. We didn't get cable until fucking middle school.
Seriously?
Yeah, bro.
Damn, bro.
I had Nickelodeon, and then on the weekends, Kids WB would show up on Fox.
Kids WB. I remember that. That's where Recess came. No, not Recess.
Yeah, but I had
Was
a little-
WB Disney?
Kids WB?
Well, that's
Warner
Warner
Brothers.
Brothers. Warner Brothers.
Fox,
Warner
yeah.
Brothers. So that was like the Marvel stuff and yeah,
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes,
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Would show up on there.
Yep.
All the
Yeah.
hard hitters.
The heavy hitters, bro. 90s babies, bro. I think 90s babies. Like we're in a really cool, part of the generation of the millennials. Like we grew up kind of right in between the technology boom, like the iPad kids. Like we're right in between the iPad kids and the people that had no technology. Like we know what it was like to go outside and be in before the street lights come on. Like we weren't sitting at the fucking dinner table with a fucking tablet watching fucking Coco Melon to keep our fucking mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
Coco Melon. Is that a nuclear family?
No, Coco Melon. It's weird, bro. I have a coworker, or I had an employee. His name doesn't matter, but he had a kid and like 4 years old, and he was saying how like Coco Melon like made his kid aggressive. Like, I guess, like, I don't know. Like, kids that watch, I guess it's too stimulating. So when you turn it off and take it away from them, they fucking go nuts.
Yeah, there's got to be some handles on fucking YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
Some of that shit is so borderline.
iPad kids in general, just being stimulated by it. Man, that's what I say, man. We good. We grew up in a good time, bro. I think the kids we have are going to be raised well.
Yeah. I didn't have a remote for my TV until middle school.
I'm still caught up on how you didn't have fucking cable till middle school.
We had a little set-top box that was shitty, and I had to walk up to it and push it in order to change the channels because we didn't have a remote.
Derek has immigrant parents, so that makes sense. Well, not immigrant parents, parent.
Yeah, my mom was born in Brooklyn, but she's Puerto Rican.
My granddad, we had the cable fucking packages, baby. Packages, baby. Fucking, you want to watch the Playboy channel? No, you can't. It's there though, but it's locked. It's there. If you do the fucking passcode to the cable, you can watch it. But
A fucking user interface for the TV, boy. When we got cable in middle school, my mom was blown away. I was like, "What? There's so much shit."
Fios,
And then
Bright
the
House,
TV
which
had
one?
fucking games in it. We had Dish Network.
Dish.
Immigrant family, right?
Fucking a cloud blows through. You got no cable.
Yeah, that thing happened for sure. For sure, it has plenty of connection losses.
Yeah, nah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Fiber optic, baby. Get it.
Yep.
Well, that's all in the past now. People are doing streaming.
Yep.
Streaming is the new wave. HBO's, every channel network has its own streaming, subscription now at this point. It's kind of weird.
It is.
It's kind of weird. Like, where is TV going to be? Like, actual live TV going to be in the next,
How much longer can they keep that going?
Exactly. Because, like, do you have a show?
They're hanging on sports.
Do you have a show where
and they're hanging on the fact that people bet on sports?
Sports in the news.
It's like three industries hanging on to each other. TV's hanging on to sports. Sports hanging on to betting. It's like, oh shit, betting is hanging on to legislation being pumped to expand betting.
3-4-way jerk there, bro. But nah, bro. Like, do you have a TV show where you're like, oh, I gotta be home. My show comes on at 12 o'clock on Wednesday. I gotta be there. No,
of course
man.
not. No, of course not.
We're past that.
But that's
We're
the game.
past
That's
that.
the game, though. That's the game. Of course, people are looking at illegal streaming platforms, but like, I mean, have you done that? Is it enjoyable? Is it easy?
No.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5ers.
A hacked Fire Stick.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of experience that can give you, but like,
But
that's like the one experience. Sports.
and
Everything else you can see easily on a streaming platform.
I was gonna say the news, but you can get CNN Plus, whatever, Fox News Plus,
And see that live stream whenever you want. Yep.
yeah.
But sports, you gotta go to that little cable box in front of your living room and watch that shit. Unless you pay for the service and you can watch it on your phone. Either way, you gotta get that fucking box.
Gotta get the box, man.
So ancient.
It is, bro. It is, man. TV, man, that shit's gonna be dead, bro. It already is dying, bro. I feel like there's more views on YouTube videos, one singular YouTube video, than TV shows get for a whole, like, season on television, bro. Like, that blows my mind. Blows my mind, dude.
Yep. In the future, if you don't have a microphone and a camera, you won't exist.
Facts. You're not alive. You're not real. Or Instagram clout, social media clout. Well, that counts as a camera. Yeah, bro. Keep it rolling. We're still going, boys. We're still going.
30 episodes. Like, comment, subscribe. If you like what we're doing, if you're chill, you like hanging out,
Chilling,
if you're
baby.
this far in, come on. What the fuck are
Chilling,
you doing?
baby. Go ahead and like. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. Give us some ideas on topics. If we should do some reviews.
Tell us we're assholes if that's what you think.
Yeah, man. If you think we're fucking total pieces of shit, let us know, man. We like being humbled. Doesn't hurt to be humbled, right, Derek?
Not at all.
That's the problem with kids these days. They ain't humbled. They ain't scraped their knee riding their bike.
They've only been humbled on their phone.
They've been humbled on
On Life Invader.
Life Invader 360.
Life Invader, that's the GTA Online version of
GTA,
social
Facebook,
media. Yeah. That's where they've been humbled. I think Facebook Battles is growing through social interaction.
What's the meme? Kids nowadays couldn't survive a Halo 3 party back in 2009. Halo 3 party chat.
The way the party chat is run. Yeah,
Call
man.
of Duty.
Yeah, for real. Like even on PS5, there's banning feature or there's reporting features. If you're in a party, it's like where are we at? It's like if you join my party, like, you're free to go in and out. So why the fuck did you come here? I can say whatever I want, and if you don't like it, you're gonna report me. This is my party.
For real, bro. I mean, not even just being in private
This is a
parties.
voice chat playing on the PlayStation 5. If I invite you to my party or you join my party because it's open,
And I tell you to suck my...
and you report me. Why? You could have left. Why did you join?
You brought this upon yourself.
For real. But that's where we're at.
You invited problems.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at,
Game
people.
game chat parties are now safe zones.
Toxic masculinity. It's too toxically masculine in PlayStation parties nowadays. You gotta have a fucking ban button. I've been banned, bro. I was banned from online for a week. A week.
For a week.
I was talking shit. This guy, he quit in the middle of a Madden match. I had to let him have it, bro. I had to let him have it.
How did you give it to him?
It was bad. I'm not gonna lie. I was talking shit. I was talking about his mom
On the mic?
It was a message. I was typing this out word for word.
Oh my God.
There's no keyboard, so you really got to put your time in because you got to go across every fucking letter and press X and space and all that bullshit. So I put my time into this message, and I got banned online for a week. So they're really about that censoring shit. I never got banned in the past. Never.
The only time I got banned from online services was on the PS3.
PS3.
Yeah, I was on PlayStation Home, allegedly harassing people.
What was the situation? Like, what was it? Was it fake? You get shadow banned?
No, I lost connection to online services for I don't know, a few weeks or a month.
Were you playing a game and was talking shit to somebody, or
No, just doing social. It was PlayStation Home, so it was just like your virtual avatar walking around, just messing around in virtual spaces.
I didn't have PlayStation.
The predecessor to the metaverse that I described in previous occasions. Anyways, so yeah, I was in a bowling alley with my cousin, messing around with some other people that were online. And I guess they got annoyed, and we didn't stop whatever we were doing.
What were you doing?
I don't even know what. It was just doing some weird shit, just like falling around, keeping just it going. And at some point, they wanted to stop, and so they just fucking reported us.
Damn. That's what you get. You can't harass people online anymore, man. They take it too serious.
Yeah.
What do we come to? What do we come to, people? You gotta have thick skin.
Yes, indeed.
Can't be a paper thin motherfucker out here. Can't be that guy from SpongeBob with the paper skin and glass bones. Every morning you break your legs, and every afternoon you break your arms.
I remember that.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this show up. I hope y'all enjoyed the one-on-one here with me and Derek, kind of chalking it up. No really topic or nothing. We just wanted to show y'all a little bit of what we got going on, and just bullshit, like a peek into the conversations of me and Derek. But y'all see more of this stuff. We're gonna try to do more of these one-on-ones. Less guests maybe. But yeah, man, thanks for tuning in. This is the Palm Wave Podcast. You got my boy Derek here. My name's Daniel. Go and like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. Peace.
Peace, guys. Thanks for coming.
Boopily doopily doo.